Hey there y'all, I hope everyone's having a great day so far. Today we're going to be talking about a little tool that you can use whenever you start to feel a little anxiety. And that tool is called the boogie. Now I know some of you might be thinking, why am I speaking with a southern accent? Well, because I like to spice things up a bit, and nothing spicier than a man with a little twang in his voice. Sue-wee! Yes, ma'am! I'm just kidding, I'll get back to my real voice. It's good to start things off in a fun way, but we're going to be talking about a serious topic here. And as plausible of a solution that boogieing may sound to be, it's actually not the technique we're going to be talking about here today. So anxiety is one of the worst things that we can feel. I mean, it's no secret that we all hate it, and it's no secret that we all feel it from time to time, no matter what anybody might say. Even that person who you think is just cool and as calm as could be at all times, even they feel anxiety sometimes. Now there's a couple things I really want to point out before we get to this amazing technique. One, you'll never get rid of anxiety. Period. It doesn't matter what anyone may say or how hard you work on yourself. We're all human beings and emotions are a natural part of life. You have to accept that, and it's extremely important that you do. However, if you work on your anxiety, you'll notice that it'll happen less and less, and then the length of time that it stays will decrease more and more. You'll also get better at withstanding the anxiety and continuing on despite it. Eventually, you may even get to the point where the anxiety will pass away as quickly as it came up because you just became that good at it. Number two, please be aware that as powerful of a tool this is, it will not reach to the core of your issues. Don't assume that this technique is the end-all be-all and that your anxiety will just be taken care of forever. That isn't to say that you shouldn't use this technique because it will help in the moment. But if you really want to solve the anxiety, you'll have to do some soul searching. You'll have to start figuring out why you feel anxiety in certain situations, opening yourself up to that discomfort, and then ultimately being truthful to yourself about it. And this takes a long time. It's also much harder to do, but it'll help in the long run. But I'll get into more of that in a later video. And number three, it may not work for those who have chronic anxiety and who may need medication. For those of you out there who are in this situation, please do try it, but also understand that it may not work for you the same that it'll work for most other people. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get to the technique, shall we? So if you've ever had anxiety before, you know that your mind starts racing. It's jumping around from one negative thought to the other about whatever that thing is that's causing the anxiety. And it's almost like you can't shut your brain up. Try as hard as you might, it just keeps blabbling on. Is blabbling even a word? I don't know. The point is, your mind just keeps going on, and you just keep growing more and more anxious. Well, the solution then is not to fight it, but to distract it. Think of your mind as a several-month-old baby that just won't stop crying. You're trying to sit and relax a little bit, but it just keeps screaming at the top of its lungs. Well, as soon as you bring it a toy, especially one that it likes, it'll stop crying, and it'll focus all of its attention on that toy. So that's what you do with your mind. I like to distract it with chairs. Yeah, chairs. The colors of chairs, the sizes of chairs, the different types of chairs, how amazing it is that people invented chairs, the chairs that I have, the chairs that other people have, the different types of legs on chairs, wooden chairs, comfy chairs, rocking chairs, and on and on and on. Now you can think about whatever you want, but the blander and the more mundane, the better. The reason for that is because normal things like chairs generally don't trigger any strong emotions. They're just chairs. So your mind is able to calm down by thinking about those things that don't really bring up those strong emotions. The amount of time that it will take for the anxiety to go away will depend on the person, and it also depends on how well you're able to focus on chairs or whatever. But you can expect to feel a noticeable difference within 30 to 60 seconds. The real beauty of this technique is that you can do it wherever, regardless of what triggered the anxiety, and it works really fast. You also don't need some physical object, and you don't have to leave wherever you're at. So it's pretty amazing. So go ahead and use it next time you start to feel some anxiety and see how it works for you. So make sure to click like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
Staying alive.